Hey everybody, welcome in. You guys asked for it, so here it is, and I'm just going to bang this out non-stop. There are thousands and thousands of numbers in this one, but you asked, is there a mining stock better than Bitcoin that'll outperform Bitcoin? So I analyzed the best, the top names, and let's see if I found one. Again, a lot of quant went behind this, and this is the best quant analysis you can find anywhere on YouTube for stocks and cryptos, bar none. So let's jump right in and see what we got here. So first of all, best mining stocks, all of them analyzed. This is not financial advice. This is edutainment. So math, money, freedom. There is a lot of math in this. I've been working on this for actually over 13 hours nonstop. So let's go. I hope you appreciate it. So the stocks that we analyzed are Marathon Digital, Riot Blockchain, Hut 8 Mining, Hive Blockchain, Bitfarms, Argo Blockchain, and Cleanspark Inc. Now, the question is, can we find one of these 7 that will outperform Bitcoin over the next 12, 18 months? Let's see. This is exciting. So again, even if you don't like mining stocks, but if you like Bitcoin, this is for you. If you like stocks, this is for you. If you like Bitcoin proxies, this is for you. So let's look at what has happened. So why do we like miners? Well, in the past, they have outperformed Bitcoin. Again, many of them have run up a lot. And you can see here in this example, Marathon is up 1,570% over the last 12 months, while Bitcoin's up 300%. Hard to believe. Nearly 4x return. But what else is important, and why do we care about mining? So mining is suddenly the most profitable business on the planet. Yes, it is. It's super profitable and will only become more so as the Bitcoin value increases. And also, did I say, thank you, China. You're making a lot of this possible. You're making a lot of the North American miners even more profitable. Let's talk about money for a second. Earlier this year, miners were making $4 million an hour. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. $4 million an hour is what miners were making, which is staggering and very, very impressive. But let's go a little bit deeper. The cost to mine in 2020 and 2021 is still about similar, but one Bitcoin is about $9,200, assuming power of about 4 cents a kilowatt hour, S9 running custom firmware, and 71 watts per terahash efficiency. Very, very important. So let's talk about success. What drives success of a mining company? 1 is hash rate, 2 is power consumption, 3 is the price of Bitcoin, 4 is the cost per kilowatt hour of energy, and 5 is maintenance costs. Let's see what else we got. So the hash rate, where are we now? So currently the Bitcoin hash rate is about 140 exahashes per second. Remember, this is where it gets really tricky. And you can see the hash rate is nearly rebounded from the China ban. But 1 exahash per second is 1 quintillion. So the reason I had it kind of lapse for a second there is I always want to make sure I get these numbers right. And when you're dealing with 15, 18 zeros, it gets really complex. So 1 exahash is 1 quintillion hashes per second, and it takes 2.7 quadrillion hashes to generate 1 Bitcoin, okay? And 2.7 quadrillion hashes is 2.7 petahashes per second is 1 quadrillion hashes per second. So again, these numbers are just kind of mind-blowing, but if you're in the business, you need to know them deep. So the way we're going to go through this is, first of all, we're going to look at some of the key factors that I look at when I value a mining company. So number 1 is the Bitcoin on the balance sheet, both today, and I have an estimate for the Bitcoin on the balance sheet they'll have in the future, depending on the company, how much they commit to HODL, how much they're mining, how many rigs they've ordered, all that type of stuff. So this looks like a simple table, but there's a lot behind this. So first of all, Bitcoin on the balance sheet today. Marathon have 6,695, Riot 2,687, Hut 8 4,240. Hut 8 said they'd have 5,000 by the end of the year, and they're well on target to doing that. Hive has 946, Bitfarms 2081, Argo has 1268, and Cleanspark has 301. Now, the real thing to point out here is you can see that the 2022 estimate Bitcoin in the balance sheet, Marathon 15,000, Riot nearly 8,000, Hut 8 over 6,000, Hive 5,700, Bitfarms 5,900, big jump there. Argo 3,000 and Cleanspark nearly 1,000. So you can see here that Riot is scaling faster. The clear winner is Marathon, and Hive is the fastest in putting Bitcoin in the balance sheet. But the key really, when you look at all these numbers, is to map it to the size of the company and their market caps. And of course, I've done that. So we'll get to that later. Second thing that's very important to look at is the exahash rate. So what this means, if we look at the current exahash rate for all the big companies, Marathon have about 2.3 exahashes. And just as a reminder as well, make sure you all note that it's really 1 trillion terahash per second is 1 trillion hashes per second. 1 petahash per second is 1 quadrillion hashes per second. And 1 exahash per second is 1 quintillion hashes per second. So if you want an exercise for your kid tonight, ask them to map those out with the correct number of zeros. So anyway, here we are. Marathon 2.3 exahashes, Riot 2.2, Hut 8 1.77, growing very rapidly, Hive 1.79, Bitfarms 1.52, Argo blockchain 1.08, and Cleanspark 1 exahash. Some people say it's 0.88, but I've heard other reports directly from the company itself that it's 1. So the kind of cutoff for this study is the ones with 1 exahash and above of hash rate, which is important. So, oh, by the way, just to mention as well, you can see the clear winner there is Marathon, Riot coming up fast behind. So are they going to win this competition? Let's see. Number 3, the second thing I look at is my 2023 earnings estimate. I like to go at 3 years as my forecast. Please take that with a grain of salt. And my PE calculation and my stock valuation methods. So here, this is kind of the most critical for those who are stock investors and not necessarily Bitcoin crypto investors. But if you look at some of these numbers here, and I ran very conservative price targets based on 2023 profit estimates and assuming a conservative price to earnings ratio of 20. And based on these numbers and scale, the best ROI is Cleanspark. You can see that they should make, based on my numbers, at least $3.20 a year in the year 2023. That, assuming a PE of 20, would give a price target of $80, which is an ROI of 623% from where we are today. So the number 2 runner-up there is Marathon Digital, 238% return. Riot, 186. Hut 8, 135. You notice Hut 8 has run a lot already. Hive, 129. Bitfarms, I couldn't find all the data I need to give me confidence in their profitability for 2023, so I have no numbers. And Argo blockchain, 63% return. Argo is quite disappointing, but again, Cleanspark, far and away the best so far. But let's go, there's a lot more to this. Number 4 is the exahash rate divided by market cap. This is a ratio that I think is logical for me. It's really to put these all on a level playing field and build in ratios. And those who know me know I love ratios. So Marathon Digital, here they have 1.44 billion of market cap for every exahash. Riot, 1.14 billion of market cap for every exahash. Hut 8, 750 million. Hive, 564. Bitfarms, 469 million. Argo, 582. And the winner, again, is Cleanspark. $394 million per of market cap per hash, which is impressive. So this is an important factor, I think, to look at. And surprisingly, Marathon is the most expensive in terms of the most overhead infrastructure to make this exahash ratio logical. Obviously, you want more bang for the buck in everything you do when it comes to investing. Let's look at Analyst Targets number 5 and see what we got here. So a few key items to look at here. First of all, the distance right now of the price from the analyst target is a key metric I look at. So for the year end 2021, we can see that Cleanspark is by far the furthest away from the analyst targets, and it's nearly a 4x. Basically, Cleanspark would have to 4x to get close to the analyst target. And then you see other ones as well. Marathon just needs to go up 85% to hit the analyst average target, and Riot needs to go up about 106%. Others that don't have targets basically don't have analysts who are making price predictions. But that's why you come to the internet. That's why you come here, because YouTubers like me can do far better fundamental analysis and financial analysis than our real analysts who get paid a fortune. So just sticking that out there, not financial advice, of course, just numbers and a ton of them. So the second thing to look at here is the distance from the 200-day moving average, a key factor I like to look at. And you can see Hut 8 is 36% above the 200-day moving average, and Cleanspark is 34% below. Again, other key ratios here are the price to book ratios. You can see that Argo is 71, which is extremely high price to book. And for the price to sales, Marathon is 78, which is extremely high. Bitfarms is the cheapest from a price to sales ratio. Again, these are very, very critical things to look at to really assess value of a stock. So number 6 is Bitcoin as percentage of the market cap, present and future. Again, I calculated the numbers before. Now we're going to map them back to market cap and see what we come up with. So Marathon today, 8.4% of their market cap is Bitcoin. Riot, 4%. Hut 8, 13%. Hive, 3.9%. Bitfarms, 12%. Argo, 8%. And Cleanspark, 3%. The average of all of these is about 7.68%. But the future Bitcoin, that balance sheet amount as a percentage of market cap, is different. Here you see Marathon going to 18.9%, Riot 13%, Hut 8 20%, Hive 23%, Bitfarms 35%, very impressive, Argo 21%, and Cleanspark, they just started, so they're ramping up. But the key thing to note here really is the predictions based on exahash and scaling, and assuming hodling ratios remain the same, Bitfarms is looking to mine and hodl a ton as a percentage of market cap, and Hive will jump to number 2. So critical ones to look at as well. So number 7, my arbitrage models. Here I have all of the arbitrage models built out for all of the assets. So the couple of things to note here, and I'll blitz through these real fast, is you can see the price of the stock, the Bitcoin quote, real-time quote as of now. These are all live models with live feeds from the internet. So basically, if there is a mistake here, it's because one of my sources that pulls in the data is incorrect. But I double-checked everything, so it should be fine. But you can see Marathon here, 8.94% Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes to $500,000, the stock price of Marathon should effectively be $64. And that is assuming, by the way, that the intrinsic market cap value stays the same today. So that's very important. And you can look and screenshot these and look at them in great detail. Riot, 4.5% Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes to $100,000, Riot should be at $27. So you see, because the ratio of Bitcoin is so small in the balance sheet, the price of Bitcoin has very little effect on it, unlike MicroStrategy, where it's completely different. MicroStrategy is like 83% Bitcoin at this stage, maybe even higher. So that's Riot. Let's look at Hut 8. They are 13.29% Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin goes to $100,000, Hut 8, the fair floor price should be $9.60. So again, we already hit $13 this year, but we talk more about that later. Hive is 3.86% Bitcoin. We have Bitfarms, 9.2% Bitcoin, and Argo, 8.45% Bitcoin. Cleanspark, 3.14% Bitcoin. So it's very, very small and very insignificant as a percentage of their market cap. So most of these miners are, but remember, they're hodling as they go forward. And one of the reasons I liked Hut 8 in the past was because they had clear plans to hodl more. So in conclusion, again, we went through a ton of numbers really fast, but I want those that don't like so many numbers to get to the meat and the conclusion. So per our unique composite score, Cleanspark wins over HUD8 by a 0.012 margin based on our key ratios of exahash over market cap, price to sales, Bitcoin in the balance sheet today, Bitcoin in the balance sheet in the future, 2023 return on investment based on my price prediction models, exahash rate, price to book, etc. Note, Hive scored the poorest, followed by Riot, followed by Argo. Please also note Bitfarms, as I mentioned, had very scant financial information, so I couldn't really do a thorough analysis to come up with their price predictions for 2023. So disqualified them a little bit out of the gate because their earnings potential was not reliable, which is a key factor here. Now you can see as well where Cleanspark scored very well is exahash over market cap, 2023 ROI, the price to book, and of course the average score. And where HUD8 scored very well was exahash over market cap as well, and Bitcoin on the balance sheet, as well as exahash rate. So that's how the model works. And let's analyze the chart of the winner. As you can see here, there's a couple of things to point out. While all the other names that we analyzed are at or above their 200-day moving averages, this one is 40% under its 200-day moving average, the blue line you can see there. Also, you can see the arrow on the left is the golden cross, and boy, did it work this time. But then the death cross happened at $20, and of course it's fallen down to half its value. But it looks like $10 per my chart could be pretty good support. So let's talk a little bit about something else as well. Conclusion number 2, none of this is financial advice. This is all numbers, numbers, numbers. I didn't go too deep into the management teams, and that's a key factor. But who knows what could happen? Investing is always risky. This is not financial advice, but this is based on my ratios, my future exahash estimates, my 2023 earnings predictions, and my HODL ratios. So please do your own research if you have, 24 hours to spare to crunch thousands of numbers, which I know you do. Third, conclusion, hut number 8. In Feb 6th, I put out my first ever Bitcoin mining, crypto mining stock video and concluded that HUD8 at $3 was a no-brainer. And within a month, it went to $13. So that was, this is like my should I buy series for tokens. I do the same type of thing, but I'm going to do more for stocks because the tides are changing. So stay tuned for more of those. And if you want to see more of those, let me know what you want to see below. I've got a Tesla one coming up soon as well. And conclusion number 3 at this stage, Cleanspark is the winner. And I believe they can do a 4x from here over the next 2 or 3 years, but we shall see. But my math says, barring any unforeseen circumstance, like the company going bankrupt or Bitcoin mining being banned in North America or some black swan event, it looks like it'll be the best performer of all of these. And number 2, which just lost just by a hair, which was my number 1 last time, is HUD8. The previous winner, they get silver place. In full disclosure, I bought Cleanspark, and I also own HUD8. So hope you like this content. If you want more of the best quant on the internet, please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this content, hit like and drop a comment below if you want me to analyze other things. I analyze tokens, as you know. The Should I Buy series is there on the internet. You can check out my old mining video as well, where I found HUD8 and pounded the table on it. And of course, any stocks you're interested in analyzing. Thanks all. Have a good night.